episodes, the collection episode 48. So yes, so we are getting into it. Hopefully we should just go over or close to the 52 mark, I think, for this whole series. So yes, so we are still on animation, one more after that, and then we will go behind with the 4 videos for anime, and then we are done. So thank you all if you like this series. If you're new to it, please subscribe, go back, there is a full playlist for you, and we shall get into it. Here we go, episode 2 from the animated collection. Let's come down here. So we've got DuckTales, the complete first series, 3 discs. Have not watched this back in the day, but again, it's one to have. When I have kids, I'll look forward to watching this. Obviously, DuckTales, the movie, Treasure of the Lost Lamb. I enjoyed this movie, really enjoyed it back in the day. I've watched it a few times with the wife. Duel Master, again, another car game, a kind of series I've never really got into. So I picked up the first volume cheap. Then we have a Dungeons and Dragons ride, if anybody remembers this from the 80s. So this is the complete series that they didn't finish, so they did a 4-volume set. That's Presto. Here's the last figure I need. Obviously, Diana. Ugh. And then Bobby with Dungeon Master. Obviously the covers and stickers, I do need to really clean them up. Then we have the lesser known Evolution, if anybody knows that film. Obviously they did an animated series of it. Again, something I don't really come across, so I bought this. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the Evolution movie. Then we have Fantastic Four. Obviously big Marvel fan, so that's why I pick these up when I find them. A really old Felix the Cat, if anybody remembers Felix. And then we have Fern Gully, The Last Rainforest, a great little animated movie. I think this is Don Burf as well. I want to say this is Robin Williams as the Batty, I think his name. Right, and then we have Freedom Fighter the Ray. So another DC universe when they were doing really, really good movies before they were ending it. Then we have Gargoyles, the 90s TV series, a great series. So I picked up this volume. I think that one's UK. And then unfortunately these 2 are American. So I managed to get season 2, part 1, and season 2, part 2. But they only play on region 1 players. Obviously they then added it to Disney Plus, so I watched it all there. The original Ghostbusters, so not the real Ghostbusters, but obviously this was the original concept from the movie. Again, come across this volume, so I had to pick it up. Very silly. G.I. Joe, the only kind of G.I. Joe I ever watched as a child was this movie, over and over and over again. Absolutely loved it. Had to pick it up. And then we have the less appreciated Godzilla movie series based on the not very popular movie. Again, I enjoyed this. I thought it did a touch better than the movie. It's good to see a few volumes. I know there was a lot more, but I'll get round to buying it soon. Apologies for the weird camera. I'm just changing position as I'm quite close. So then we have Green Lantern First Flight. So this was a movie that came out from DC, all about the origin of Hal Jordan in good old Halo. Obviously a big fan of the games, so I bought this. It was alright, kind of anime-esque. Again, it would be questioned, should this be in the anime section or should this be in the animated section? Another cat from my childhood, Heathcliff. Love this, the catchy tune always gets in my head. So again, from Jetix, which I can remember that was kind of the kids show. Then we have the box set of He-Man Master of the Universe. Not my favourite, but glad to have this in the collection. And then the follow-up to this also was the Christmas special with He-Man and She-Ra. And then my favourite series from He-Man is He-Man and Master of the Universe 2000X version. All of it. Season 1 and Season 2 with the Snake Men. Highlander, the animated season. Obviously only a few episodes on this again. Was this from Jetix? Or it was around that time. But again, they did do figures. It's something I like the memories of and like to revisit. Hong Kong Phooey. I think I bought this with AJ and Matt when I was in London. £3. Number 1, he was a janitor. Or was he? IGPX, again an oddball series that I've never come across. Bought the first volume, have not got round to watching it. Then it's our favourite Inspector Gadget. See these cheap little volumes that they used to bring out back in the day. Then a later version of him where he had 2 little minion gadgets, and I'm seeing updated Penny and Brains there. Special edition of the Iron Man animated series from the 90s. Obviously Jetix again, you know it's there. It's the first. I quite like this, like the intro. Obviously a big fan of martial arts, and this is a great underrated series. They should release it all, but again, found this volume only has 3 episodes, but still good to revisit. With his magic torch, it's Jamie. Season 2, not got season 1, but again, found it for £1. So I couldn't leave that there. Then we have Jace and his Wheeled Warriors. Again, a really hard toy line to find, and a series that was never properly finished. But again, I bought it and have to sit down and rewatch it at some point. Jetsons movie. Meet George Jetson. I enjoyed this. I think I rewatched this last year. Was the last time I saw it. Right. And then we had kind of Nickelodeon-esque. They did a Jumanji series. I bet you how many people knew that. Obviously found a volume, bought it, why not? And we go into the Justice League, the Brave and the Bold. This was the first series that they started to do. This was the movies, I think Starcrossed the movie. Then AJ gifted me this, so Justice League Unlimited Season 2. Do need to get Season 1. Really enjoyed this series. Again, another underrated one. Then we have Justice League Crisis on 2 Earths. Obviously with the Earth Zero, is it an Owlman and an Omni-Man, I think it is. Then we have the New Frontier. Not a big fan of the art style, but I did enjoy this movie. Then we have Gods and Monsters. Kind of the different take on it. Kind of the Throne of Atlantis. This one kind of speared me into it, and good to see Cyborg kind of going up the ranks here. And then we have the Flashpoint Paradox, a great story. Obviously, don't think they depicted it that great in the movies. War, kind of a modern take on the New 52. Justice League Dark, so you get all the kind of Swamp Thing and Zarana, Etrigon, Ghost Deadman, I think it is, and John Constantine. Then we have the Fatal 5, so kind of a futuristic attack. I think they're the Legion superhero bad team, the Fatal 5. And then we have Justice League versus Teen Titans, when they get corrupted by a demon. Raven's dad, I believe. Another great series, and appreciate you can get the full volume this, but this is the cheap one I found. Is obviously King Arthur and the Knights of Justice, where a football team go back in time and replace King Arthur and his knights. A very bad Legends of the Dragon. I bought this again, oddball one, watched it, wasn't the greatest, but good to have it in the collection. Something that I don't show on this series all the while, so this is a bootleg, so this is the Legion of Superheroes, but I will show it for the pleasure of the thing. Then we have the Avengers. Basically it's under Marvel, so that's why it's here. And then we have Earth's Mightiest Heroes. Had a great soundtrack. Was alright, had hits and miss on that. Then we come down here, more Avengers. So the Ultimate Avengers, one of the earlier movies that they branched into. Really, really good story. If you've read the comics, I would, or not read them, the Ultimates, I would definitely read. Then you have 2. A little bit of, even though it's 12, a little bit older themes in the comics. Then we have Thor, Legend of Asgard. It was alright. Then we have the next Avengers, kind of kid, long ones. Don't know if this came out before Young Avengers. Would have to look that up. Then we have Doctor Strange. So these were when they did a few of the superheroes. Quite good. Hulk versus. So one of its versus Thor, one versus Wolverine. So you get 2 kind of stories in one. And then we have Mask, Mobile Armored Strike Command. This is the complete series from the 80s. Rewatched this all for last year for my discussing the brand with AJ. Mask Rider. So if you're a Power Rangers fan or not, you will know that this is it's kind of a continuation series or linked series, but it's basically Kamen Rider. Shouldn't really be here. I probably need to have a sort of that. Medabots. Great series in the 90s. You could buy little robots and put them together and that, and I thought it was really cool. And again, come across a cheap volume with only 5, so I picked it up. Mega Man. So this was a new incarnation of Mega Man I bought many moons ago. Unfortunately, looks really good, but the story in that isn't the greatest. Another adult film to an anime series, Men in Black, the animated series. Obviously, it's only volume 2, but picked it up because it was cheap. Obviously, me and my wife like Mickey Mouse and Disney, so we picked this up once upon a Christmas. Then another franchise, Mortal Kombat Defenders of the Realm. Obviously, a big fan of Mortal Kombat and like Scorpion and that, so I do like these designs. That's my dog in the background, apologies. Obviously, Defenders of the Realm Part 2. And finally, Defenders of the Realm Part 3. Then we have, obviously, the DC movies. So this is Mortal Kombat Legends, Scorpion's Revenge. And then we have Snowblind. Apologies for the bad cut there. The dog was barking, so I had to shush him. And then Mortal Kombat Legends. These were all gifted to me from Robo Fett and the Bounty Bunch. So good to have the complete collection of those. Then we have again Mummy's Alive, a great animated series from the 90s. They released this, so I had to pick this up. Ninja Turtles: The Next Mutation. Part 4 and 5. Just picked it up as a one-off. You could probably get the box set cheaper. Pingu. Love animals, love penguins. Obviously, who cannot beat an episode of Pingu? I think they're very short episodes as well. Then we have Planet Hulk. Yes, it's not in the Marvel section because I've kind of gone chaotic. Good storyline. Read the book as well. Then we obviously have Rainbow. A few episodes. And then a few more episodes with the gang. Then we have RoboCop. So this was the animated series, the first one that released, not the later one, which I didn't know they did. Rocko's Modern Life. Like this back in the day, when they redid a movie for it like 5-6 years ago, it wasn't the greatest. And I think maybe from Rude Dog and Dweebs, again a random series from the late 80s, early 90s that I really enjoyed. Oh, 89, there you go. Someone's at the door there, so I've got some really... So this is Saber Ride and the Star Sheriffs. Again, first volume, it's a lesser known series. Bit of Scooby-Doo, because I like to vary it up. And then this was a manga. So like the return that was turned into a Netflix or Jetix series. So I bought the first volume of it. And then we have Silverhawks. So I never really watched this as a kid, so I bought this volume. Obviously 32 cartons over 4 discs, watched it, quite enjoyed it. Then Hanna-Barbera Sky Commander. So everybody was bringing out toys, you know, this was where you could have zip lines and that. I have got a few sealed ones of them I need to open. Then we have Sonic Underground. Again, just random series that I buy. Sooty, me and my wife like Sooty. I did meet Sooty for one of my birthdays when I was with my wife. And you'll see what I mean. So more Sooty, even though it's not animated. It's kind of animated / kids. More Sooty. And then the Christmas special, obviously, with the newer worker of Sooty. And then obviously Sweep and Sue, the big day out. Then it takes us into Spawn, so a great animated series. Had really good potential, unfortunately got canned too early. Then we're going into Spider-Man, so with the animated series. This is not the 90s one, this is the 2000s CG one, it was alright. Then obviously they had the Spectacular Spider-Man one, which everybody loved. I thought it was quite good, different style. So obviously I got the first 4 volumes. Green Goblin. Again, some interesting designs. I did quite like the Venom one. Then after that, another series that only had a few episodes. This is Starcom. So this is where I used magnets with toys. So I got the complete one. Again, I had a VHS of this I used to watch over and over as a kid. Then we have Street Sharks, Volume 1. Obviously only 2 episodes, so it's not massive. And Street Sharks, Volume 2. I probably need to upgrade and try and get a full series of most of these. And then Stormhawks, a very cheap volume that I found. Never really got around to watching it. Suicide Squad, Hell to Pay. Yes, should this be with the DC one? Who knows? And then final, another gift from AJ's Movie Place, Superman the Animated Series, Volume 1. And that is it, 48, as I say, one more for this one, and then we'll move on to anime, so they will be in here. I hope you're enjoying these videos in this collection. I've been Cyber Sigma Screen Time, and I shall see you in the next one.